So it's a super quick update today for the last part of the vlog, audio log thing. I'm still in my pyjamas, I haven't had a shower or anything, but well, it's 2 o'clock now. I've been recording since 10 this morning. So yeah, a few hours on that. And all I've really done is added in a couple more instruments and done all the mixing and mastering. Let's have a look. You can see I haven't really added any more tracks, I've just sort of added a couple of things. And oh, my TV is about to turn off. There we go. Right, so I've just added a little bit more music, but mostly mixing and mastering. So what I normally do is down here, you've got this button, and that turns everything into mono. So the first thing I do is have everything the same level, and then I just adjust the levels while it's in mono. I find that's the easiest way to get a really good idea of the mix of everything. So once I've done that, then even before I turn it back into stereo, I will grab this little thing here. And this is a tonal balance control. It's really cool. It's by iZotope. And you can select your target, so modern, orchestral, bass heavy. They're the three that come with it. Orchestral action is one that I added, but now I realise I don't actually like. So I've got it set on orchestral, and it gives you a reference of where roughly these your track should be as far as EQ goes. So I've got this just added onto the final track, and all throughout the track over here you can see, like on staccato strings there, it's gone to the other window, so I've got an EQ just on the strings, getting rid of some of that mid rubbish there. The really nice thing is, so this is on the final, on the master track, the really nice thing is that you can select which EQ you want from there. So staccato strings, you can see it's there, so you don't have to keep on flicking back and forth between all the EQs that you've got. You can just do it from this one section here, and it'll be reflected on that EQ in there. So like the viola's got an EQ, so yeah, that's what I do. So I make all the levels first, then I go through, well, actually before I EQ everything, the next thing I do is just make sure that I like the sounds, basically. So if I bring up, where is it, over there, bring it over here, if I bring up this, let's say, alright, I didn't like the sound of the drums maybe, and so all I did, well, I did like the sound of the drums. So this is the snare, I gave it a little bit of spread and I added some reverb onto there, and I did the same thing to the, what do I do on the Thunder ensemble? Actually, didn't put stereo spread on, that would make it sound weird, but added the same reverb, about the same amount, to make them sound like they're in the same place. So, alright, so I put it in mono, adjust all the levels, and then I go through, make sure I like the actual sound of each instrument before I've EQ'd it, and then we get onto the EQ. So the EQ, like I said, you can select whatever you put an EQ on, it's pretty cool, and yeah, attach it onto there. And if I play through it, you'll see these lines, they sort of move, and I'm not really, I'm roughly where it should be, but you've got to use your ears as well, I think. This is just as a guide. So you can see they're pretty much sitting where they should be. Alright, and then once I've done that and EQ'd everything, then I will take it off of mono, have it in stereo, and then I'll balance stuff left and right, do a bit more EQing, and that gets you pretty much there. So this is the iZotope thing. The one other thing I did right at the end. So again, this is on the master track. Right at the end, I used this little, not really a cheat, but once I've sort of EQ'd everything, all the individual instruments to how I want, I use this master assistant. So if I click on that, it says, what are you going for? And you've got streaming, CD, or do you want to sort of make it match a reference track? So I've chosen this reference track from Nier Automata, which is a very cool game, and it's got this kind of orchestral, but a bit more action-packed, that kind of sound. But I use that as a reference guide. So what you do is you'd click next, you would play your track, and then it would try and EQ and level out your track to match that one, really. And again, you use it as sort of a guide, and then you can adjust things from there. But it's really cool to go, oh well, I'm writing in this kind of style, I want it to sound like this. Boop, press the button and the AI kind of goes, yeah, okay, here you go. So yeah, it's really cool. And that is about everything. And then I just make sure that it isn't peaking anywhere and export it really. And we are done. So I'll post up this track now and you can listen to the final thing. And I hope you like it. Thanks.